White flag, one more time here.
So watch with you. Big push coming.
Here comes the big energy. One back, gonna have to block.
Does it go to the outside?
Gonna have to, here he goes!
Middle, keep going middle. Keep coming. Hell yeah.
How about you, Ross Chastain?
Holy cow! Yeah, boys! The moose is loose!
Hey race fans, welcome to the preview show here in Studio 3. That's Alan Cavanna. I'm Alex Weaver, and AC, hope you have your party pants on.
Yeah.
We're going to the Boulevard. Talladega, we're heading down to Alabama for the NASCAR Cup Series.
I love Talladega. I don't think there's any better spot in NASCAR to watch racing, to enjoy the party in the infield, and see that finish line on the final lap. Best spot in NASCAR.
All right, we're pumped. A lot of storylines to get into for this weekend, but first up, the return of engine number 9. Chase Elliott was back at the car in Martinsville, and a good time for the 9 to be returning. Now he heads to Talladega, which we know is Elliott country out there, a lot of 9 fans, but he's also the most recent winner at Talladega. Will the old left foot come into contention?
They're still cheering from last fall when he won there.
Yeah.
So he needs a win. That's going to be the biggest story for the rest of the year. Every week we're going to ask, can Chase Elliott win? Will he get a win? Because that's his path to the playoffs
Exactly.
and the championship.
Yep.
Can he do it again? Absolutely. He's done it before. He's got the skill on the super speedways. The only thing I worry about is Hendrick Motorsports as a whole. They've been awesome this year, but their 2 weak spots have been Daytona and Atlanta. The drafting tracks, like Talladega, is there a weakness there? Is there just something behind where they're trying to catch up with everybody else? If there is, might be a little tougher for Chase Elliott on Sunday, but we know he can get it done on the big track.
The only positive, I feel like, when you go to Talladega is that you're full throttle the whole entire time. So the left leg, just hang out, Chase.
No brakes.
Just
No
hang
brakes.
out. Okay, and then a guy who's also hoping for no breaks, but a breakthrough is Ross Chastain. He's winless in 2023. He won this race last spring at Talladega, and he led 1 lap, Alan.
It's all it takes, the right one. But he was right there at the right position. It was such a good move. He stayed on the bottom and got that victory last year. But another driver this year came out with a lot of speed, but over in the win column. Trackhouse as a whole, right? We expected a lot out of them this year. Still haven't got that victory. Ross Chastain can do it again. They run well. Daytona 500, both the Trackhouse cars were in the top 10. But then we went to Atlanta. Not as good of luck, not as good performance. They both finished outside the top 10. So which Trackhouse team do we get on Sunday? We're getting a lot of winners so far this year. Those Trackhouse cars need to step up and get those victories.
All right, both of those bow tie guys. But now let's move to the Blue Oval. It's because so strong at super speedways, and we always see a Ford show up. Eric Amarola in the 10 car led a race-high 36 laps at Talladega last fall. He's a good super speedway guy, so can he sneak in and get a playoff spot for the 10?
Yeah, this is opportunity, right, for Eric Almirola, because we've seen him win at Daytona before. He does so well at these type of big tracks. The only thing I worry about with the 10 team is that does the pressure get to this team?
Yeah.
Does the pressure get to the driver if they feel like these are the only opportunities to win, right? I mean, we know he can go out there and do it, but there's only so few of these opportunities at the Degas and Daytonas of the world that if it's the only time, that's a lot of pressure on a team, on a driver to get that victory. Those Fords, though, so fast. He's just got to stay at the front and stay clean throughout the race. He's 0 for 2 so far at Daytona and Atlanta this year in terms of getting to the finish line. Got to get there before you can win it.
Well, Alan, you know who's not 0 for 2, and that is the dark horses, because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is a Daytona 500 champ now, and my favorite part about super speedway racing is you never know. Throw a dart at the board. All these dark horses that we name can pull into victory lane. Corey LaJoyce, Chris Buschers, Justin Haley's, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. again.
Michael McDowell, AJ Allmendinger. We can name them all.
List goes on and on.
I got one for you. Ryan Preece. Been doing so great the last few weeks. You know, got a little beef with Kyle Larson, but then he was leading all those laps in Martinsville. A lot of aggression there, right? But a lot of speed, a lot of good skill on the super speedway. One of my dark horses this weekend, absolutely Ryan Preece.
I like it. Well, you mentioned the aggression word. Super speedways, you have to be aggressive in a different way when it comes to this type of racing. We saw the frustrations already mounting and building up from Bristol and Martinsville. So sure, you're going to have some guys you want to punt to the back, but You have to be aggressive when it comes to this style of racing.
Yeah, we're not going to see recklessness. We're not going to see, punting out of the way just for like it's a short track, but it does pay to be aggressive at these tracks because being out front and being the leader is so much safer than the rest of the field in terms of where we see all those wrecks. When we see the big one, it's not very often the leader that's involved in the big one. So there is a lot of aggression. There's a lot of incentive to do whatever you can to be out front as long as you can because the wrecks, they never really happen when you're the first place car. So we will see a lot of aggression at the front of the field trying to be that leader because that's the safest spot to be.
All right, well, Junior Nation, show up because you guys always did when it came to Talladega, and Dale Jr. had the luck and the skill when it came to racing on super speedways. So our NASCAR 75 Flashback 2003 AC, Dale Jr.
Yeah, his 4th straight win at Talladega. It almost seems impossible when you think about it, but the legend of Dale Jr. was written at Talladega. This was an era where Dale Jr., Dale at DEI, just dominated these types of tracks. It was almost amazing to watch because he always had some challengers, right? But his ability to control the race from the front, it was impeccable. We like to call these races crapshoots sometimes. It was never a crapshoot with that old red number 8 out front. He led that way and had the crowd just going back in 2003. 4 straight wins. That's so cool.
All right. Well, I hope the crowd's going this weekend because we'll be there. We can't wait to see you guys down in the great state of Alabama. And make sure and tune in to the Geico 500 this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
And make sure you join us right back here next week for the preview show. We'll see you then.